All right, y'all. We're back, and holy smokes! Let me put myself back on camera here. Hey, how are you guys? How is everything? A lot happening this week. Um, sorry, we're gonna be a little bit out of format today. Had some things come up, so I couldn't prepare the show like I really wanted to. I'm just gonna have to jump straight into our topic, and we're just gonna have to discuss it. Uh, you know, straight in. But before I do that, I want to say this week I made a couple videos and I talked about Tom Likas, and I hope he's doing all right, man. I mean, the last time I saw him, man, he wasn't really looking that good. But uh, if anybody's out there, man, if you can reach out to him, man, and just tell him, I guess us guys out here, man, we pulling for him. He was kind of the one that got me at least started on what is probably called the red pill journey today. Uh, but anyway, we lost Mr. Paul Mooney, great comedian, a little eccentric, but very good comedian, and just just a world renowned talent, man. And he was the kind of guy that could have been a major, super huge star, but he preferred to be who he was and say what he wanted to say, as opposed to being this corporate giant. And uh, he sacrificed that superstardom just to be, the average dude on the street with a voice and say what he wanted to say. So you got to respect that. Uh, what else I got? I think that's all I got to this time. Next week, we'll be back with the Black History Minute. We'll be back with the Job of the Week. We'll be back with your money and other news stories. Just this week, we had some things come up, so I'm kind of getting started late on this topic. So anyway, let's move into our topic today. How Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown are destroying the mainstream media. Well, let's look at it. Uh, I did a video earlier this week about how um, men are just not watching network television anymore. And I'll even break it down: network cable, and syndicated television. They're just not watching it anymore. Why is that? Well, there's a couple of different reasons. Number one, I'm looking at my notes here. There's really no hard benefits to men, and there's no uplifting images for men on network television. Now, I went into this earlier in the video earlier this week. I talked about how women used to watch soap operas. So a lot of the programming, in the daytime was for women, and at night it was for the family, and even later it was for men, and it was broken up like that. But as more women got into the workplace, more women started working more, so they started having less soap operas, and they ended up moving a lot of the female programming to later in the evening after they got off of work and fed the children and stuff. And that's where it is now. It's in later in the evening. It's pretty much covers. It's almost everywhere. You can't really turn in any channel almost, unless it's like Western or something. You can't see any shows that's really not specifically designed for women. And I spoke about this. I said how if you make a show for men and you have things advertised for men, you'll have things only advertised for men on that show. And so you're only getting the men's money. But if you have things on women's shows, and then you advertise for men and women on those female shows, because you get the female to make the man watch that show. Now you're getting double the money. So that's what scientists, these high scientists of income, they recognize this, and they are, they know what to do, and they know how to make money, with for the most bang for their buck. So they go after women. So you watch these shows, they go after women, but it's hard to get women to sell alpha men. So what they have to do in these television shows is break men down and get rid of the alphas and just have the betas on the shows. So you will hardly ever see an alpha on the show in prime time, or definitely on a network television. Maybe cable will slip one in there, but most usually it's not. You'll never see an alpha dog on prime time, on network television. It'll usually maybe cable, and maybe once in a while on syndicated television. No, I'll take that back. Syndicated television. He won't be on syndicated television. No. You'll have guys like Dr. Phil, super huge beta, and Steve Harvey, super huge betas. And I'm not telling they're bad guys. I'm just saying there's an image. What they are at home is totally different than the image that they have to portray when those cameras are on. That's my point. When those cameras are on, whether they're alpha at home or not, they got to be a beta on when that camera turns on. They got to be a beta, because Dr. Phil's audience is all women. Steve Harvey's audience is almost all women. So you have to have betas. You can't have alphas in a room full of all women. All the women will be attracted to that, and they won't listen to sound advice coming from an alpha male. They'll be attracted to that. So it just caused confusion, and nobody will spend money. And so these scientists know this. So that's why when you watch all your shows, go back and look at all of these shows, And especially it started in the, I would say, the 19, maybe the late 70s, the early 80s, where the beta male really started to pick up steam, and he just kept picking up steam and he kept picking up steam. And the alpha dogs started losing ground, losing as the women's empowerment movement picked up. Television shows with alpha dogs in them, it just started going by the wayside. And if an alpha dog was in this scene, he was either the bully or the mean person or the person that got it in the end. He was never the person that persevered and triumphed and overcame a situation. And he was never that person. I'm talking about after the mid '80s on network television. So there's just no. So men don't have nowhere on network television to turn to look at to say, that I remember when I was coming up, we had Good Times and we had the father James Evans to look at to say, man, that dude is strong. We had a strong black dude that we could say, man, even if we didn't have a strong black guy in the house, we could look at that guy and say, who we either looked at him if we had a strong guy in the house like I did, you could say I can relate to that situation. Or if you didn't have that, you could say that's something I probably should have, and that's what I would like to be for my children. In at the proper time. If you look at TV today, especially network television, where do you see a strong black father? You don't. All you see is these girl comedies where the man is like the idiot following her around. She's the smart one. Men are just the idiots that are bumping into each other in between these the women saying all of the smart dialogue, and the men are just the idiots bumping into each other. They can't remember their um uh anniversary date, and they can't find their keys. They can't find. They can't walk. They walk out of the house without their sandwich. I mean, it's just, and men are tired of that. Men are tired of that. That's why there was a show back in the '90s called Married with Children, and in this show, the lead character Al Bundy would watch this television. He would only watch one show, and that one show was Psycho Dad. He loved Psycho Dad, and he would, and that was the only show that they had on TV for men. And it was just, but it foreshadowed the situation that it is now, where there's no network television. That's why these networks are going under, because they have to switch all the stuff around, because you used to could sell stuff for men, but now they have to sell stuff to millennials. They have to switch from men to millennials, because millennials are the only ones really watching network television. Most men are not watching network television. Only women and millennials are watching network television. But average man is not watching it, because there's just no benefit into it at all. Number two, most of the images on those platforms are negative towards men. If you look at, if you look at, hold on. Maybe we got somebody joining us. Hold on. All right, we back and had a little phone call, man. You know how it is when you're doing it all by yourself. All right, now how Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown are destroying the mainstream media for men. All right, my second point was most images on the platforms of network, cable, and syndicated television, they're negative towards men. Men are looking at it like, man, what's going on? All of the women are smart. All of the men are stupid. All of the men are like, they bumping into each other. It's like the Keystone Cops, man, on most of these television programs on network television, right? It's incredible. So men are looking at this stuff saying, man, you know what? This is not. And then you got young men looking at that saying, I don't want to be aspiring to be a dummy like that. So now young men are not even watching network television. It's only the super betas that are watching network television. The super betas and simps are watching the network television. And I talked about this on my last video, how this programming is not only for women, but it also is a grooming tool to beta-tize all of the men, most of the men. They know they can't get all of the men, but they can beta-tize most of the men so that we all have this beta mentality. I know I did until I ran into Tom Likas. You don't even see it coming when you've been groomed into having this beta mentality. So now you have a beta mentality. How's that going to work for your wallet? How's that going to work for your love life? If all you want to do is just be friends with women and you want to be platonic and not have relationships, hey, beta is perfect for you. That mentality is perfect for you. But the reality is, if you really want to have a relationship with women, and when I say relationship, I mean a situation where eventually it's going to lead to physical contact, then beta is not the way to go. Beta is not the way to go. When I say beta, I mean where you're taught by these television programming to always agree with the woman. The woman's always right, and her emotional pleas are as good as scientific data, and it's not. It's not. Just because she cry and tell you that you can figure out how you're gonna pay your rent, but she need these Chanel shoes or whatever. No, no, no. But man, this is the situation you in, man, because you're getting groomed and your sons are getting groomed. Your sons are watching all of this programming. I don't care if you name me the station, even if it's cable, syndication, or network, especially network television. All they do is have simping programming on there. That's why we as men, we got to get ourselves away from it, and we got to get our sons away from that television programming. And I remember Minister Farrakhan, shout out to Mr. Farrakhan, he told us a long time ago, he said, you got to get your children away from the television because they're going to teach them how to be, they're going to have them out of sorts. We didn't know how right he was. We didn't know how right he was on that particular issue, as well as many others. But yeah, that's when we look at how most of the images on these platforms are negative towards men. Most of the time, the men are stupid. If you look at the commercials and you look at the commercials and just the television program itself, man, or even the radio. You can even talk about the radio. You listen to the radio. I mean, the men are just so dumb. They're so stupid. And here comes the women. She's so smart. She knows where the deodorant is. She knows where everything is. She does everything. Meanwhile, the man can barely get one pant leg on, barely get the other one on without getting the instructions and reading them upside down. And he's like a complete idiot. And men are just tired of looking at that. We tired of getting our being groomed to be like that. Like, oh, that's what a woman want, a man bumping around. No, that's not what they want. That's what they want to see on TV. They can all agree on that on TV, but then when they get in their own house, they don't want nobody like that. Because then they say, oh, I have to pay for everything. Yeah, because you wanted a man that was dumb like that, so now you got him, but you got to pay for everything. Welcome to our world. Anyway, next thing is men are to be used, right? So you just use men are just here to be used. If you look at these programs, men are just here to be used, right? The all blessed queen can go and do whatever she wants to do, but the man is supposed to be the one that's always constantly throwing the rose petals under her feet wherever she go. And I'm saying that's not correct. Men are saying no. The average woman, no. See, we should have a common interest. The common interest should be me, not you, me. I should be the common interest that you and I have. And how can we make things better for me so that I can make things better for everybody? That's how it should work. It's not because see, but they tell you this lie. The major lie they tell you is happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life. The inference there being if you don't make your wife happy, your life ain't gonna be happy. Well, I understand that, but most women, even if you make them happy, which there's no guarantee or way you can measure whether you making them happy or not, you just got to go by them telling you whether you did it or not. And sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, because they always want you chasing the carrot. So how can you know whether you accomplished your goal or not? You don't know. It's always to keep you running after the carrot. Anyway, happy wife, happy life is what you've been told. No, no. When you make yourself happy, that's when you're happy, whether you have a happy wife or not. See, all this subliminal, all this subliminal teaching they've been giving you and me, all this subliminal teaching that we've been given is to help us to see so the women could dig in there. See, because they know if they advertise to women, women will spend their own money, plus they're going to get you to spend your money on them. It's a 2-for-1 deal. It's a 2-for-1 deal when they advertise to women. When they advertise to men, most men are going to be buying stuff that just the stuff that they need. Oh yeah, I need that. A manscape. Oh, I need that. Yeah, okay. They're not going to be like, oh, I think my woman would like that. I'm going to buy that. Most men ain't going to do that. A woman would do that. A woman will say, oh, my grandma would like that, but I spent all my money. Baby, can you come in here and buy this for me? What's the average dude going to say, especially if you're married? Yeah, okay, whatever. As long as they ain't going to take no money out of my pocket that I would use to do the things that I do, shoot, no problem. Right? They know that. These scientists know this, man. That's why they advertise to you. That's why they advertise to these women. Anyway, the next thing is men should receive no gratuity for their efforts. So that means if you work hard and you really work hard and you try to make the best life for your family and your woman and your family, what do you get for it? I never see a woman answer this question that in a way that makes sense. If you want a man to be you want a man, a 6-figure man or whatever, a high value man, what is he gonna get for getting with you? And if you just ask that question and shut up, they can never give you an answer that makes sense. They'll say something like this: they're gonna get a housewife, and I'm gonna cook, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna support them, and I'm gonna. They say a bunch of stuff like that, and you go, okay, I get that, but how? I mean, how is that different from what I could get from somebody else? Like what? In other words, what makes you stand out from these other people? Because if I ask 10 women that, they're going to say the same thing. I'll be there. What do you get? You get me. And a lot of them will say they'll say me, like they're such a prize. But if you were such a prize, why are you single? You know what I'm saying? If somebody really, if somebody really thought you was, if somebody really thought you was a prize, they wouldn't let you be out here being single. But the reason why you out here single is because somebody just couldn't take it no more, or you can't take it because you can't. You don't want to be with a regular dude. You want to be with a high value dude, right? Let's finish with this situation with how Kevin and Kwame broke the internet. Already, the woman should be catered to solely. So you watch all these television shows, and it's always around the woman. Like everything is around the woman. Oh, we got to. Everything is around her. Nothing is around the man. Nothing is around pleasing the man. Definitely nothing is around having the man helping him be at his best. Everything is geared toward him just being a simp, really just paying for the whole experience that everybody else is going through, that the woman is going for, and being happy to do it. I'm happy to give all my money to you. And it's foolish. In today's time, it's foolish. You could be like that in the 60s, the 40s, the 50s, the 30s. Yeah, you could be like that. You can't be like that today. You just cannot do it. It's a bad situation you're putting yourself into. Anyway, moving on. If a relationship goes bad, it's automatically the man's fault. So you look at all these shows, and especially the ones with the black women, man. It's always the men. It's always the men. It's always the men. And then they say, men are no good. But you only picking the no good men. It's like you only picking the no good men. You like good dudes, you walking right past them because they don't turn your engine on. So you walking right past them and you're going to get these no good dudes. You going to bars and clubs. What kind of man is going to be in a bar and a club? A guy in a bar and a club is not going to be looking for no long-term relationship. They're typically not going to be looking to, make somebody a queen of their kingdom. They in there to find somebody to hit it and quit it. Typically. I mean, everything's always the men's fault. Especially the women's empowerment movement came in and really just made it clear that, man, everything is men's fault. Everything. We got to dismantle everything. Oh, you do? You got to dismantle everything? Yeah, we got to dismantle everything. Oh, are we going to dismantle these divorce laws? No. Those laws protect women. Yeah, but they're not applied to men the same way. Well, that's your problem. You're a man. Deal with it. That's what they tell us. You're a man. Deal with it. You're a man. You shouldn't be asking for child support. But I got the child with me. That's crazy. You're a man. You shouldn't be asking for child support. That's just cuckoo. It's just crazy. They just crazy, man. All right. Number 3. Most men on those platforms are slaves to the simp culture. Remember, I was talking to you earlier about Dr. Phil. I was talking to you earlier about you can go down the line. Dr. Phil, Steve Harvey, Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, Carson Daly, all these men that you see on these syndicated uh, network television shows, man, we don't know how they are at home, but we know how they have to be on the platform they on. They got to be white toast, milk, butter, man. A milk toast, white butter, white milk toast, white toast. I mean, they can't stray from the feminist agenda. Unfortunately for our young men, that's why men used to watch like Johnny Carson. I got to give to Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was a man's man, right? Used to watch Johnny Carson. Used to watch David Letterman. Used to watch, you know, uh, Walter Cronkite. You know, these were men's men. But in today's world, you don't have that. Now you got a lot of other types of men. You got other types of men that are broadcasting to your sons, and you got to decide. You got to take your sons up out of that situation, man. If you see somebody professing messages to your son, then man, you got to say, hey, you know. And most men don't have their sons watching network television if they're in the house. Problem is for us as black men, 72% of us are not there. We're not there. These women are making, and what you think the women are doing? Just like Dr. Shahrazad Ali said, these boys are with the women, and the boys they take them, pack them boys up and take them when they go get their hair braided, and all they do for 3 hours is talk about how dirty and low down men are. Then they got to go when they go grocery shopping, and then when they go visit their friends, they take these little boys over there too. And they sitting around all of this women talk all the time, and it just destroys them. It just destroys them. Then they send them out there and say, "Go on out there and find you somebody." Then the man he got so many mixed messages. He turned into a clown out there doing all kind of stuff, heinous stuff, maybe even hurting women. Unfortunately, right? But they raising those dudes. See, you complaining about the guys, you raising them. You raising them. The reason why these men are turning into these kind of clowns is because you as women, single women, are raising these men like that. You don't realize and understand men need men. Males need men. Young men need men around them, not women. You can't pack up a young man and take him to go get your hair braided and have this little boy sitting around you and another chicks and 2 or 3 other chicks talking about how bad men are, and have this little boy sitting there for 3 hours, then pack him up and take him over to another friend's house, and then y'all got him in there watching some other kind of simp programming, and then in the other room you guys are talking about how bad men are, but yet y'all chasing the worst of men. You going for the worst of men, like Kevin Samuel said. You going for the worst of men, but you blaming the best of men for it, for your outcomes. You guys are the ones picking these guys that's tossing you to the side and throwing you over the balcony, but then you blaming it on us because we don't want to date you after we see all the tire marks on you. And it's not our fault. It's your fault for picking those guys. I saw somebody else doing a live stream. Shout out to the Poor Man Podcast. I saw him doing a live stream where he was actually debating a woman. I wish he would have let me in a debate, man. I would have crushed that lady. You know, poor man, you know, he got her, but you know, man, he was allowing her to move the football. I wouldn't have let her do that. I would have made her stay on point, stay on task. But I'm a little older. I would have made her stay on task. I don't have as much, you know, he got a lot more sympathy for him. I don't. I have sympathy for him as a woman, but I don't have sympathy for the argument. You better be coming correct. Anyway, moving on. I said most men on these platforms, on these cable and network television platforms, they're slaves to the simp culture, right? Steve Harvey and them, they can't tell the truth. They can't identify men's issues. So men have issues, right? We got issues that we want to talk about that are adverse to the feminist agenda, right? They can't talk about that stuff. You go Steve Harvey show, you go Dr. Phil show, you go to Carson Daly, you go to Conan O'Brien. They cannot talk about none of those things. They can't, because they're working for the network beast, and the network beast feeds the feminist agenda is what the female beast says. I think I got a comment here. Let me check it out. Let me get this comment in here. All right. Let me see. Black men don't feel obligated to black women and black children. Oh man, Sister Shay Shay, I wish you would come back and talk to me, because I would invite you on. And if you want to come back on and let's talk about it, because black men do feel the black men that you picking ain't obligated to black women. The black men that you picking, they ain't obligated. And that's the problem. That's the problem. But see, y'all out there getting these dudes that's you calling high value or whatever, and you mistaking high value. See, in my opinion, high value is something else other than just having money. So you out there with these dope dealers, can a dope dealer tell you he's a high value man because he got the car, he got the house, he got all this other stuff going on. So he could tell you he's a high value man, when it really high value should have a lot to do with your character and your morality, right? But you guys out here picking dudes like this. You pick this dude. Black men don't feel obligated to black women and children. What do you mean? Which black men? I ain't never see in my circle. I never met a black man that was like, "F my children, F my women." I never met a man like that. I know that there's men out there like that. Well, let me say I don't never met a man like that. I said I never ran in a circle with a guy like that, because I know if a guy ain't even gonna look out for his own family, what chance do I have of having a situation with him where it's gonna work out for me? I don't want to be around a guy. I'm like the mafia. The mafia don't respect a man that don't care for his family, and neither do I. I don't have no respect for a guy that don't take care. So I wouldn't be hanging around and do. So maybe that's why I gotta. But see, maybe it's the decision process that you making. Maybe it's the decisions that you making. I wish you could come back. I wish, sister, you would come back and we could talk about it, because I feel like you just saying what you're saying, but you're not. Where's your information to back that up? You don't. All you have is you who pick bad men and other sisters that pick bad men, and then you want to say to them, then you want to come out here on programs like what I'm doing now to encourage black men to be with their children, to tell us that black men don't feel obligated to the women. Well, I know they don't feel obligated to the women because the women are really in bad shape, most of them. I don't know if you dated black women, but if you've ever tried to date some black women are not in the best of shapes. Their money is funny. Their change is strange. You know, and a lot of them are not aesthetically what they should be, because they've partied a little too hard and a little too long. They just out there. Then they come. Then they got 2 or 3 children from some other man in tow, and then they want to, because they've been getting down with bad boys. Or really, you've been getting down with bad boys, but you won't. Whose fault is that? It's like the rest of us as black men gotta take the burden for these knuckleheads that y'all pick and y'all lay down with, and y'all let them pump another baby into you, and then you lay down with another knucklehead and let him pump another baby into you, and then you lay down with another knucklehead and let him pump a baby into you, and then it's our fault because we don't want to have nothing to do with you if we're single and we say, hey, I don't want to have nothing to do with a single black, single mom, because that's crazy. That shows some. See, what you don't understand is this shows the that shows the decision making process of you. Now, what kind of see? Now, those are the kind of decisions you making, and I haven't even attached my kingdom to you. What kind of decisions you gonna be making once my kingdom is attached to you? See, but you don't look at it like that, right? Black men don't feel obligated to black women and children. Get out of here, man. Please don't say nothing like that unless you're gonna come back and you're gonna prove it, and you're gonna say, "I'm willing to listen to anyone. I'm willing to listen to you. I'm willing to discuss it with you, but I would like to discuss it." You saying that black, okay, cool. Prove it. Prove it. Where's your facts? Where's your data? Where's anything other than your feelings? I know what you've been doing. I already know. I already know. You pick these knucklehead dudes, and then you want to say all black men are like that because no, these are just the ones you picking. Those are the ones you pick. You got good dudes right under your nose, but y'all won't pick them until you get busted, until you hit the wall full steam, right? Warp speed, right? The Millennium Falcon, light speed. Psh, whoop. The same like dusting crops, boy, right? And you hit the light speed button and you go right into the wall. Bang! And shatter into 1,000 pieces like Alderaan. I thought Alderaan was right here. What happened? No. See, that's what y'all don't understand. See, nobody's willing to tell you as a female, the wall is coming for you. You only got a certain amount of time. Yeah, but I'm just gonna freeze my egg. I don't care what you can freeze your eggs, you can freeze your left arm. It don't matter. The wall, you can't freeze the wall. You can't freeze the wall. The wall is coming. And your job as a woman is to get to negotiate the best male that's going to stay with you and help you raise these children before the wall falls on you. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what you're supposed to be doing. I know I got my career. Okay, you got your career, but that doesn't mean that the wall is going to take a step back. The wall is still coming whether you got your career or not. I got my career. I'm not going I ain't going. Okay. Well, the wall is coming. If you don't find a good man, it's your fault you didn't find a good man. It's your fault. If you got a bunch of problems and you got a bunch of men around you that's a problem, it's because you a problem. You the common denominator. You keep going out and you keep picking these Pookies and Ray Rays, and then you keep blaming the whole set of black men like black men are the one. I hope, listen, I see I got somebody in the room with me now. I hope this is Shay Shantae. If it's you, I hope you will go ahead and let me send you this link. You could talk about this right now. Black men don't feel obligated to women and children. That is a bold-faced lie. And I would like you to prove it. You ain't got no statistics, no data, no nothing. I can prove the opposite with statistics and data, but you can't prove this. That's all right. That's when you run away. Go on and run away. Anyway, moving on. I just had to get that out because, I don't like when people say stuff, man, and they don't back it up, man. They just make everything crazy. Anyway, man, let's get back to what we were talking about. Now, I said, we were talking about the third thing that these platforms don't do. And under number 3, I have the alpha male must never be shown. See, that's the whole key. The alpha male must never be displayed on network, syndication, or even in cable. I remember I used to watch a show called Ghost. I used to watch a show called Ghost, and that was pretty hard. I mean, it was about as hard as you come, and it was still pretty soft. The alphas in that show were pretty soft. Even 50 Cent's character, he was really hard, supposed to be as hard as, he's supposed to be a hard alpha, but he was a sick dude. He wasn't hard, he was sick. I wouldn't call him hard, he was sick. But so they got to show alphas in some type of crazy setup. The last show that I saw that was on TV that had real alphas in it was The Wire. That's why people love The Wire so much, man, because it had so many alpha dogs in that program, man, and they were all vying for power, and it was relative to the way real life works. That's why people like The Wire, man, because it was for real. It wasn't no dumb stuff. It wasn't nothing crazy out. And people like that. I used to watch The Sopranos, and The Sopranos had a couple of alphas. But when The Wire came, man, it was, it was much more alphamism than The Sopranos. That's what made it that's what makes it much more of a show to be watched. Even the lesbians were alpha dogs. It was basically a lesson on how different types of alpha dogs move. It was just, and that was the last show. And I think The Wire went off, 07, 08, 09, something like that. That's it. That's all you got. You don't see no alpha dogs on TV today. You just don't. The alpha male must be never shown because it's a threat to the feminist society. The alpha dog can, I'm going to say something. Here's a jewel. The alpha dog is a threat to the feminist movement because he can take the women, and he can attract those women back to their natural state. And the leadership of the feminist movement is so concerned about that. They don't want those women that are in those groups even to see alpha on TV. So if they see an alpha dog, they'll say the show is too violent. So they have to get rid of the alpha dog, or they have to shave him down, or they have to emasculate him some kind of way. Men are tired of watching this, man. Men are tired of watching this go down. Men want to watch men. We want to watch something we can relate to. We can't relate to dudes simping out all the time. Even though a lot of men are simps, they don't want to see it. They want to be inspired to not be a simp. And that's what network television can't do. They can't give you the inspiration to not be like that. Because they know if you see enough men, like like a show like The Wire, if you see enough alpha dogs, you're going to be like, man, I could be an alpha dog too. And it's going to wake the sleeping giant. And they don't want that giant awakened. They don't want it awakened. They want you to stay asleep. Because if you're sleeping, then they can take advantage of you. People can go through your pockets when you're sleeping. They could change the name on your birth certificate and call you John. Your name is Zachariah, but they call you John. Because they can call you whatever, because they can change your birth certificate. While you were sleeping, we changed your language. What? I spoke this language. Now you got to speak this language. This was your name, but now this is your name. So they want you. They do not want alpha males must not be shown on TV. they must never be shown on TV. That's why most men are not watching TV. They're watching YouTube, and they're watching channels like Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown. Oh, I could put Kwame Broke. I need to put Kwame Brown. I don't want that brother to be mad at me. I mean to say Kwame Brown. Kwame, let me fix that right now. Yeah, there we go. That's my man, Kwame Brown. Anyway, yeah, so mainstream media don't want no alpha males on the show because, like I said, the feminist movement is scared of the alpha male because the alpha male can just reattract those women back over to their and put them back in their natural position. And so the feminist movement, if an alpha male is on a TV program, they'll say, "Oh, it's too violent. It's too sexist. It's too this. It's too that." And they'll go to those. They'll go to those, or they'll pull up the latest thing that the latest weapon they have is it's homophobic. In some kind of way, this alpha male is homophobic. So they have to, by the time they get done reshaving all of this alpha male down, they shave him down until he's hardly nothing. He's hardly nothing. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm glad about James Evans, or what's the actor's name? I forgot his name. But the actor that played John Amos, I'm glad that he saw what was coming down the line, and he said, "You know what? You're going to shave me all the way down? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. If you want me to be a punk on TV for all these children," because he realized there was a lot of young black men. We were looking at John Amos saying, "Man, that dude is strong. I want to aspire to be strong. Even though I'm not strong, I want to aspire to be that." But see, they don't want you even to aspire to be an alpha male. They know if you see enough alpha males out there, you're going to want to aspire to be one. And they don't want you to do that. Unfortunately, why not? I told you it's an economic situation. They get a 2-for-1. If they make television shows for women, a woman could drag you in there and say, "Come and watch this show with me." And you go in there, and then the woman will spend not only her money, but she'll spend your money, and they're getting a 2-for-1. Most men, when they watch TV, they'll only spend money on themselves. "Oh, I need that. I'm going to buy that." But they're not going to go in the other room and say, "Honey, can you give me some money to go buy this?" No. But a woman will spend all of her money and then come in the room and come get you and say, "Oh, by the way, can you buy these pots and pans, or you buy this dress for me," or whatever. So they know they're getting a 2-for-1. That's why they always go after the female. That's why they always go after the female. Anyway, the last thing is the beta must be uplifted. The beta male must be uplifted. They have to have the beta male be risen to the top. The beta male is the most I'm talking about on television shows. If you watch network television, the beta male is the most desirable male. There is no alpha male to be desired. So it's a battle of the betas. You especially look at, even when the superhero shows, if you go look at those superhero shows that they have, man, it's just a battle of the betas. There's no alpha dog. Because alpha dog, man, once an alpha dog walks in the room, man, that's it. That decision has been made. This is the person that's going to be our leader. That's it. The alpha dog has already made that decision, but now everybody else agrees to it. And it's unsaid. It'll have nothing to be said. Only thing difference is another alpha walks in, then now that entanglement has to be worked out. But forget it. And I'm getting to Kevin Samuels and I'm getting to Kwame Brown, so hang in there. So now I'm getting to Kevin and Kwame. So Kwame and Kevin are showing that men want better programming for men. Men want better programming for men. What does that mean? That means that we want to see programming where men are not the butt of the joke, not stupid, not tripping over each other. We want to see programming where men are discussing things logically and coming to logical conclusions and then applying that logic, and then good things are happening after that. That's what we want to see. We want to see, in other words, we want to see that real shit. We don't want to see, we tired of seeing this beta male battle like I've been talking about on network television, syndicated television, and a cable television. We tired of seeing the beta battle. Now we want to see alpha dogs that's come because some of us ain't never even seen an alpha dog. We never even heard of alpha dog till we got on the internet and we heard a cat like Kevin Samuels, Dr. BOA, CGA, MTR, a lot of these cats, O'Shea Duke Jackson. We never heard of none of this stuff before until we seen these dudes. Some of us. I'm an old school dude, so I heard it back when Tom Likas was doing it. Tom Likas was the first person I heard throwing this kind of stuff out there. But back in the day, I mean, but right now, they got rid of Tom Likas because Tom Likas was just, man, he was burning their ass. So they got rid of him. They said, man, we can't do nothing with you. Here, Tom, take this money and retire. I can't blame Tom, man. He took the money and he ran, man. Like I said, hopefully somebody see Tom, man. Last time I saw him, man, he wasn't looking too good. I hope he's doing well, man. Give a shout out to that brother. But anyway, man, yeah, it's just a bad situation. So Kevin and Kwame. So let's get into Kevin. Now Kevin came out, man, and all he did was tell a girl, hey, if you're a 5, which you said you was a 5, then how can you want a guy that's a 10 coming running after you if you only a 5? Because if you was a 10, would you accept a guy that was a 5 running after you? But in her mind, in her crazy mind, it made sense to her that she was a 5, which she said she was a 5. He didn't say that. She said it. And then he said, if you're a 5, how do you think a man that can get an 8, 9, or a 10 is going to be wanting a 5? Why would he want a 5? If you're going to be at work all the time because you got your business, why would he want you? I mean, simple questions, man. But because of that, he got catapulted in because men, we finally had somebody that was going to confront black women on their, not only black women, but women, period, They blocked me, y'all. They kicked me off the stream. I guess I said the womanist word too much, and they blocked me and they kicked me off. Um, Here we go. We're gonna go back. We're gonna try it again. Anyway, Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels has shown men, man, that hey, he showed the mainstream media, man, he can get more views. I mean, the man has like 25,000 people watching his show every night. And with that amount of people, man, that's enough people to retire on, bro. Imagine you got 25. I can't even get 2 or 3 to watch my live stream live, but he got 25,000. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to KS, man. You know what I mean? Good for him. But the point is, how crazy does this make the mainstream media look? But see, what it is was Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown came in and same thing. He came in and gave people what they want. See, they just thought they was going, all these other people that mess with Kwame Brown, they thought they was going to kick an old dog and he was just going to roll over. But see, that's why you don't mess with no man, man. You don't ever know when no man, I don't care if you think he's not tough. You never know when you never know when a man is going to decide, that's it. This is the last straw. I ain't taking this no more. I don't know why they mess with Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown ain't mess with nobody. He took his little $50 million, went out and just, took care of his family. The cat didn't do nothing to nobody, didn't try to bother nobody. Of course, he was a kid when he came in, 17-year-old kid dealing with grown men. You know what I mean? Everybody ostracized him. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't right, but that's what happened, right? But now here he is, man. Here he is 20 years later giving everybody the business. See, Kwame Brown didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing at the time because he was trying to put his mama in a nice house. So he said to himself, hey, one day I'll be able to speak my piece. But right now, let me put my mama in a house. I could take this little bit of what they throwing at me so that I could put my mama in a nice house. So he took it. So he could put his family up. So he could take care of his family. But now, this man got millions of dollars in the bank. He don't have to take nothing from nobody no more. He don't have to take nothing from nobody. And he could tell the real story. He don't have, he ain't like Charlemagne and DJ Envy and Angela Yee. He don't have no constraints. He don't have no contract where, you got a contract where you got a decency clause. He ain't got to deal with none of that. He could go straight into them. He ain't like Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, where they got a decency clause. No, bruh. Only thing he got to follow is the YouTube standards. And they're very loose compared to those contractual standards that you guys got to have so that they can bring advertisers on your podcast. This man is going in. This man is going in. When I'm talking about going in, I'm talking about Kwame Brown. Shout out to Kwame Brown, man. Shout out to Kwame Brown. Man, keep giving them the business, man. As long as you standing on truth, they'll never be able to get to you, man. Never, ever, ever be able to get to you. The only thing they're gonna be able to do, they're gonna have to make you be quiet. They're gonna have to bring a big bag to you. Just like they did Tom Likas, man. They couldn't do nothing with Tom Likas. He was telling the truth. They finally had to say, look, Tom, take this money. Because we can't, there's nothing we can do. See, it's one thing, man, when somebody can't handle you, man, and they just can't, and they can't handle Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown is standing on so much truth, man. And I love to see that. I love to see a man standing on truth and speak boldly. He speak bold because you standing on truth. You know the truth. So good for you, Kwame Brown. I ain't got nothing against Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. One thing I know about hoopers, they'll make up eventually. Kwame Brown, Matt Barnes, and Steven Jackson will eventually make up because you pushing somebody around on the court, for all them years, man. Yeah, you guys will get mad, but you like brothers. Eventually they'll find their way to each other and make up. But Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and the Breakfast Club, I don't see how. You guys, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, you guys owe him a major apology. Stephen A. Jackson, you owe him a major apology. And also, the Breakfast Club, you guys owe a major apology for putting his business out. I would say the same thing about Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan didn't put the business out, as far as I know at this time. He didn't put that business out in the street. You guys put that business out in the street, and not only in the Breakfast Club, you put his family business out in the street, but you got mad when he put your family business out in the street. See, how you gonna do that? See, that's the one thing, man. You want to give somebody donkey of the day. See, most of the people you guys give donkey of the day to, they ain't got no platform to fight back against you. But this man do, and he is burning your ass. He's burning your ass. And he got more people watching him than you got watching you. Same thing with Kevin Samuels. You tried to go in on Kevin Samuels, calling him lame. How you gonna call a man lame with 1 million followers on YouTube, bro? You guys, I don't know how many followers you guys got. I know it ain't close to 1 million. Let me see if you guys, let me see what you guys got, man. I'll look it up right now. You guys, Breakfast Club, you guys ain't got no followers. Not compared to Kevin Samuels. Let me see. Breakfast Club. Yeah. Oh, maybe I take that back. I stand corrected. You guys got 4.81 million subscribers. I stand corrected. But he's on your heels. He is on your heels. And he doesn't have a corporate engine behind him. It's just him and us as black men that's supporting him, and even black women that's supporting him. Those of them that got their head on straight and they realize he ain't personally attacking nobody. He's just telling the truth. He's just telling the truth. But see, especially black women have not had, it's probably been since the 60s that black women have had somebody that actually could talk to them and shoot them straight between the eyes and tell them, this is you wrong. But see, now they've gone so long without having that they're like, I can't see no sorrow. Ain't nobody gonna check me. You can't check me. I can't be checked. But the life is all fucked up. Your life is all turned upside down and inside out. Credit bad. You got bad children by bad people. You're a bad person because you never had the opportunity to get with somebody who helped you become a better person. But of course, it's all black men's fault. Black men are dating white women. Why you think black men are dating white women or other kind of women? That's because they have some type of issue trying to date black women. And black women, dating black women is, it's a very difficult task in today's world. In today's world, it's very difficult to date black women. Black women are just absolutely almost undateable. Many of them. I'm going to say all of them, but many of them. And they are such delusion. They're in such delusion. By the time they come out of the delusion, man, they're just so scraped up and battered and tattered up. They can't understand why men don't want to date them. You take them to get something to eat, and all they want to do is talk about all their problems. If I just had enough money to do this, if I just had enough money to do that, my ex-boyfriend did this. My ex-husband is doing that. And then he's after me. And I got to go back to court and all these problems that they got. All these problems. And it's like, they'll understand, man. When somebody first meets you, man, they don't want to hear about all your problems. Yeah, somebody saying how you doing, what they're really saying to you is, how are you doing other than the problems that we all are dealing with? Almost all of us are dealing with some type of issues. How are you doing other than that? I know you got problems, but how are you doing other than those problems? But you ask back, well, how you doing? Oh, man. Oh. If I could just get $300 to pay this car note, then I'd be okay. If I could just get $100 to get some groceries in the house, whew, I'd be okay. I mean, it's such a sad situation. It's such a sad situation, man. And you can't, of course, tell black women any of this, right? Because they're gonna be like, they instantly get on the defensive. Just like I was watching that podcast, that debate with Poor Man Podcast and that other lady. And I mean, no matter what issue the poor man was dropping on her, she would just move to football. She would just move to football. She would never address it. She would just move to football. Yeah, well, yeah, maybe that's right. But, and then she'd move to football again. And so she would never actually break down what he was talking about. And that's how you got to learn how to deal with women like that, man. Because women like that, you can't let them get off the hook, man. You can't let them switch to football. Oh, see, the people think Kevin is a mean dude because he'll say, well, no, he won't let them move to football. No, put it right back where it was. That's where we're talking from, right here. But I want to talk about, no, I don't care what you want to talk about. This is what we're talking about. Well, if we're going to talk about black women, then we got to talk about black men. No, we don't. We're talking about black women right now. You want to talk to me about black men? Let's finish this discussion first. Then we can go to black men. How about that? But of course, when a woman don't have no facts, figures, and no way to defend herself, the last line of defense for a woman to use, the last weapon she's going to use is confusion. And that's the last weapon she got to dig out of her arsenal, is to create confusion, to become an author of confusion. Why? Because you remember that snake that's scuttled up to Eve in the Garden of Eden? He taught her the technology of how to use confusion to stop the flow of logic that will make it so that good will come. Good comes when logic comes. When logic is there, good can come, right? Logic and good, they do a high five on their way to the, laying the road so that truth can come, right? But see, like they say, truth is lying in the street. Truth is lying in the street. Why? Because the people, they will not listen. They won't listen to the truth. They don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. Especially, well, not the people, but the simps and the women, they don't want the truth. But men do, and some women do want the truth. Those are the people that call Kevin's show. People that call Kevin's show, man, they are tired. They are tired of women and people like Derek Jackson. And no shade on my brother. That's my brother, Derek Jackson. But I disagree with his philosophy on how a woman could actually have a good relationship with a man. I disagree with a lot of his philosophies. But he told, in my opinion, spent a lot of time telling women stuff they wanted to hear, but not stuff they needed to hear. And as a result, that stuff don't work. But he was able to keep that didn't work for you? Oh, okay, well, I'm coming out with another book. I got another live event. that you need to come to. And this live event, we're really gonna tell you how to. Instead of telling you basic things that Kevin telling you, hey, you need to lose weight, get a better attitude, and learn how to cook. Those are the three easiest things that a woman could do. Fix your attitude. Nobody wants to come nobody wants to work hard all day. Come home to a person who got a bad attitude. Got a bad attitude. Your attitude is just out of control. Nobody wants to deal with that. Next thing is, you need to lose some weight. Lose some weight. Like Dr. Shahrazad Ali said, because you working and you doing all this other stuff, you eating 3 or 4 times a week, you eating out at McDonald's or whatever kind of death trap you eating at, and now you blowing up. You just, all that sugar, all that grease, all that cheese, all the potatoes, you just blowing up. Now you over 200 pounds, but because you're the closest woman to God, you're still able to keep some type of attractiveness to you, some beauty to you. But eventually, that beauty ain't gonna help you when you got so many different issues in your situation. You got so many different issues. I mean, you got children by another man. The average guy, I'm not saying all guys, there's some guys that will they will not look at that as a negative, but the average guy will, and you need to know that. You need to know that, especially young girls. You need to be telling the 16, 15, 14-year-old girls that's even thinking about having sex at that age. You need to be telling them, you women need to be telling them, hey, don't do that. You're going to put yourself in a bad situation. But see, y'all ain't telling them that. You letting Megan Thee Stallion tell them it's okay to be out there, being a savage. I'm a savage. Well, if they admire Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce is singing on the song, and Megan Thee Stallion is saying, I'm a savage, what you think they're going to do? They're going to go out there and be a savage. See, I'm going to tell you right now, man, I appreciate Kevin Samuels. I appreciate Kwame Brown. I appreciate both of these brothers because they're showing that, man, black men we're just walking away from network television. We're walking away from these syndicated programs. We're walking away. There's nothing in it for us. There's nothing in it for us. We're not getting nothing out of watching those television programs except for we lost 2 hours, we lost an hour. It's nothing that's inspiring us to be better men. And you watching Kevin, you see Kevin come out in a nice suit, looking good. May not like what he's saying, but he say, man, you know what? Even if you on a jealous tip, you be like, man, I got to get my money right, man, so I could at least, be looking good like that. At least have one suit like that. But you ain't never seen nothing like that. See, we ain't never, not at least on network television, you never seen nothing like that. There ain't no alpha dogs out there on network television. Ain't no men out there that's alpha dogs that's dressed nice, looking good, talking good, and getting in that ass when it's time to get in that ass. Ain't nobody out there like that, man. Network television ain't gonna happen. I know they took down my live stream the last time I said, so I'm not gonna say that word. I'm gonna say the women's empowerment movement. Women's empowerment movement. They're the ones that tell the TV channels, these television shows, what to put on, what they can put on. They tell them what they can put on. And it's true, but see, thank God we got Kevin Samuels, Kwame Brown, and other brothers So if they shut one of us down, we got so many channels now. They have to shut the whole YouTube down to shut us all down. They couldn't shut us all down all at the same time. So it's too late. It's too late. Kevin Samuels is a juggernaut, getting hundreds of thousands of subscribers per month. I look over here, I see the Breakfast Club got 4.8 million subscribers. That ain't gonna be nothing after, man. Give Kevin another year. He gonna surpass that. He gonna surpass that. Because he's telling the truth. See, on the Breakfast Club, you stuck. You stuck in a box, the corporate box. You can only, and so as long as you are derogatory toward men and derogatory to black men especially, hey, they're going to keep you running as long as you can, right? But now you come over here. See, men are coming over. Men are leaving that. Men are not watching the Breakfast Club. Men are not watching that stupid ass Revolt TV. Take that back up. I'm not calling Revolt TV stupid. I'm saying some of the programming on there is stupid. But we're not watching that. We're not watching the network television because it does have nothing for us. The only thing you got for us on cable television is sports. That's pretty much it. Everything else is geared to women, besides the Westerns. Besides the Western, everything else, man, is geared to children and women. Even the news, the way they do the news, man, is for women. Everything. You used to have dudes like Walter Cronkite, Larry King, you know, just OGs, man, out there. Sam Donaldson, you know, just you had OGs that you saw manhood in them. That's not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore. Name me one man you see on network television that you say, oh, that's an alpha dog. Yeah, he is definitely an alpha dog. I mean, on and off the camera. You don't. You can't. But that's why we got alpha dogs over here. And this is where the alpha dogs are gathering. This is where the alpha dogs are gathering over here. Brother Kevin, Brother Kwame Brown, that the alpha dogs are gathering over here. And these guys are showing that, you know what? We don't need no big major conglomerate to back us so that we can have people watching. We don't need that. All we need is all we need to do is get out there and put the information out. If they put the information out, they will come. What they say, like that, what's that movie? Field of Dreams? If you build it, they'll come. If you build it, they'll come. Because there's a whole, black men especially, we have no alpha. We don't have no alpha dogs. I look on Christian television, man. Even Christian television, they got some alpha dogs on Christian television. The white boys got, and shout out to them. They got their alpha dogs on the Christian channel, right? Man, even a brother that come on the Christian channel, he'll be soft like a tissue. And even though he might not be like that in real life, he got to be like that on the show. Where is it that you can find real manhood in real time on television? You can't. That's why Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown are so important, and they're destroying the mainstream media as it relates to men. Men want to see men. Men are tired of watching simps. They want to see men, and that's why the networks and the mainstream media look at VHS. I mean VH1. VH1 used to have most of the hottest programming out there. Now, what they showing? Reruns of Martin? Reruns of the Wayans brothers? Why? Why? Because they cannot compete. And that's the way it's going to go, man. let me tell you how network television, what's going to be the death. Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown and brothers like that are going to be the death of network television. Network television is dying a slow death. It ain't going to be nothing but old ladies and little kids watching network television. That's it. They're going to be buying bracelets and watching the news, and that's it. Men are going to be completely divested from network television, almost all the way from cable television, and completely divested from network, from syndicated television. There won't be no men watching The Breakfast Club. There won't be no men watching Dr. Phil. There won't be no men watching Steve Harvey. There won't be no men watching stuff like that, because there ain't nothing in it for them. You got another story about how a black man did something wrong? Okay. Oh, you got another story about how a black man did something wrong? Okay. Oh, you're bringing up another retarded artist. Excuse me, not retarded, but you're bringing up another crazy artist up in there to come in there and show you that he got a bunch of gold and diamonds in his mouth, and he using a stack of money like a telephone up to his ear. That's what we need to see. Thank you very much. We need to see that. Our young men need to see that, so they can aspire to something crazy like that. Or you bring a woman in there that's half naked, and then you ask her a bunch of disrespectful questions. See, I seen Charlamagne. You're going to talk about Kevin Samuels. What about the time Charlamagne had the chick on there? He went on the chick's podcast, and he told her he wanted to suck a fart out of her ass. That ain't lame? That ain't lame. Carrie Champion. Go look that up. Go look up when he did that to Carrie Champion. He went on her podcast, and he told her he wanted to suck a fart out of her ass. I'm still waiting on you to talk about how lame that was. Charlamagne did that. And I ain't never heard him apologize to her about it. Never said. He told her that was a compliment. Are you listening? Hello, Breakfast Club. Are you listening? Are you listening? Now here, Charlamagne went into and I ain't got nothing against Charlamagne personally. I'm just saying, man, I'm like Malcolm. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know what I mean? If you're willing to blow this man up, if you talking about Kevin, and you talked about Kwame Brown, you talked about both of these men. Kwame Brown, you just went all into his family and everything. DJ Envy, man, you talked about Kevin Samuel. You called him lame. You called him lame. Here, your own co-host went on Carrie Champion's show. Carrie Champion, who does a show with Jamel Hill, he went on Carrie Champion's show and said he said he wanted to suck a fart out of Carrie Champion's butt. Man, that ain't lame. That's highly inappropriate, bro. That was highly inappropriate. But you know what? He got another pass for that one. And I'm sure there's many other ones he got passes for. See, y'all go in on who you want to go in on. You don't want to go in on yourselves. But see, if you're going to go in on other people, you need to be willing to deal with what you said. Now, y'all look that up. Look up the time where Charlamagne told Carrie Champion he wanted to suck a fart out of her ass. But I don't hear the Breakfast Club talking about that, saying how lame that is. Right? You guys ain't talking about that one. And I heard Charlamagne do a whole bunch of disrespectful stuff, but nobody never said nothing. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because Charlamagne is protected by the LGBT community. He is protected by them. And when you're protected by them, it doesn't matter hardly what you do. They will protect you. They will cover down on you. They cover down on you like a blanket. And it doesn't matter what you do. But see, now we out here by ourselves. Kevin Samuels, Kwame Brown, brothers like myself, other brothers, man. We just telling the truth. We ain't got nothing against the LGBT community. We just not under their umbrella. We just not under their umbrella. They can't control what we say and do. Just like they shut down my live stream because I said the womenist move. When I said the womenist word too many times, so they just shut it down. Those of you that was with me a couple of few minutes ago, and they just shut it down. They let it come back. I guess that was a warning. That was a warning shot to me. I can't say that word, so I won't. No problem. Not my platform. I'll wait till I get one that I can do that on. But the point is, the mainstream media, it's over for you. Rest in peace. It's over. Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown are showing you. These are two brothers, and they talking about two different things. It ain't like, oh, we all talking about the same thing. It just showed the diversity of black men, but we can talk about all kind of different things. Only thing I say about Kwame Brown, man, I wish, Kwame, you would just bring the language down so we can have our children listening to you, man, because you spitting that truth, but you just got too much, you got too much cursing in there, man. And we can't have the children listen to the cursing, but we can have them listening to the rage. See, you a black man, you ain't supposed to have no rage, man. You're supposed to be uncontrolled rage. See, what I like about Kwame. Kwame got the controlled rage. And he going in, but he got it under control. You just gotta clean up the language, brother Brown. You gotta clean up the language, and then we can all rock with you. We can have our children looking at you and saying, man, see how a man can do when he's standing on right. And nobody can stop a man that's in the right, that know he got God with him. He can just move he can move how he want to. The enemies of truth can't do nothing to him. But let's get back to the Breakfast Club. You talked about both of these brothers, and I'm showing you how this man is dismantling you. Now, Kevin Samuels, he didn't even respond to you. He said a little thing about when he goes to Hermes, he shops. He ain't standing out in front of the store. He shops. In other words, he ain't out there just standing out in front of the store. He shops there. And you out there talking about, oh, I got a salesperson that works there. Oh, okay, well, you got to sell. That's good, brother. That's good. Y'all made a lot of money off the black community. Y'all made a lot of money off of us. I will give it to you. We made you rich. We made you rich. But we thought that you was going to be, at least give us the straight story. But now we see, man. So, in other words, if you lied this time and you lied last time, when other times have you lied? And you probably been lying all the other times, right? Let me see if, man, see y'all got me playing. Y'all got me twisted, man. I'm gonna find this clip right now. Y'all got me like I'm on one. I'm gonna find this clip. I'm gonna find this clip right now. Hold on. I know, man. Champion. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get it. Get it.
In October of 2012. I wasn't very familiar with social media. Twitter was so-so to me. It was foreign, as was Charlemagne, the God. And I often found that, I don't know, he would tweet about me, say different things while I was on First Take. Then I remember, I know who he is. 3 years ago, prior to working at ESPN, so maybe, I don't know, 20.
Come on, we're going to find it.
No, not 2010, maybe 2009. I'm guessing. You can correct me. My best friend Kendra Carter and I were in New York City.
Here we go.
And she's like, oh, I want you to listen to something. I was like, what? She's like, this fool just went in on Ray J. You guys know Ray J. Brandy's little brother, Ray J.
Uh-huh.
And all I remember was indoor pool, outdoor pool. That's all I remember. And we laughed and we joked. And there was this person conducting the interview, and he was really funny and very charismatic, extremely memorable because of the voice. And I thought to myself, oh, he's clever. No big deal. Clever. Memorable.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I didn't put that connection together. That person on the radio making fun of Ray J was the same guy sending me inappropriate tweets.
All right. So you heard
he wanted to do things you should not do to people. But in his own way, I guess he was giving me compliments. He was saying that I was a Nubian princess of sorts and things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was complimentary. I still thought he was crazy. I mean, I don't want to talk to him. And people would be like, hey, Charlamagne want to know, do you know, can you die? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Come on.
Anybody who is that reckless on social media, you cannot be their friend because that can come back and haunt you. And it did. In a good way and in a bad way.
He laughing.
That was
he laughing. Watch what he said.
2012. And when I say that we formed a friendship, and I say that about a lot of people, but we formed a friendship based on the fact that we both were hungry, both underdogs, both been told that we can't do it, and we want to get it.
Yep.
He's moving a lot faster than me, but that's okay. I'll let him have it. Welcome to Be Honest, Charlamagne. No.
Disgusting individual.
No, you are no longer different adjectives.
Nah.
I think you are a lovable butthole sometimes.
Nah,
That's
man. You
actually
just
what
made
my
some
consultant
mistakes, brother.
calls me.
Yeah.
My consultant for iHeartMedia, Dennis Clark, that's exactly what he says. He don't
That's
say
true.
butthole, though. He says a-hole.
You can curse on this. We'll just
Okay,
keep
he
it
says
out.
asshole.
He
Even the
does.
people that work with you calling you a
I'm on a
butthole.
profanity diet. I'm trying not to curse. I don't know how long that's gonna last.
And I actually used to tweet about you when you used to be on First Take, and I'd be like, yo, Carrie Champion is so fine. Like, I want to suck a fart out her butt. But that's a compliment. It's like saying you want to drink somebody's bathwater.
Wait a minute.
See,
Hold
no,
on.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he just said? He said he want to suck a fart out of her butt. Now, where is the Breakfast Club? Now, if somebody did this today, he would have gave that person a donkey today for doing that, right? But look, nothing. You didn't even hear nothing about this. I saw it by accident. You never even heard nothing about this. She didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing because this man is protected by the LBGT community. He's protected by the community. So he can say what he want to say derogatory to black women. Well, almost everybody can say something derogatory to black women. But let me play it again.
Suck a fart out of butt.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
just like a little bong hit.
Okay. Oh,
See? What is that? Oh, I guess that's respectable, right? That's respectable. You can talk about sucking farts out of girls' butts, but it's okay. But now we got a problem. But you want to send Kwame Brown a cease and desist order, talking about a real case that you had, real situation that happened with you, because he's out of pocket, right? See, I'm telling you, y'all kicked the hornet's nest, and now you're trying to get the hornets back in the, and you can't. You can't. I just want to know if you can. Same thing with Kevin Samuels. If you can call Kevin Samuels lame, I ain't never heard Kevin Samuels say nothing close to this publicly. Now, we all say things to a woman, we got her behind the wall, but I'm saying publicly. You don't disrespect no woman publicly. At least, I mean, the average man won't. That's just showing bad taste. Not because you scared, because it just tastes, that's just bad taste. How can you disrespect your own woman and expect other men to respect you? Right? That's like, man, I'm walking with you, your little brother runs up and says, Mama said come in the house, and you kick your little brother all the way home. How am I supposed to respect you and I see you kicking this little brother all the way home? I gotta say, man, I can't hang with somebody like that. Should you kick your own brother like that? Anyway, let's play a little more.
So
Yes, a
that's
compliment.
what the kids are saying these days.
Absolutely.
And
See, it don't matter whether it was disrespectful or not. It don't matter. It don't matter. See, the only thing that matters is the fact that he decided. The only thing that matters is he decided that that's something that needed to be said at the time. Did he ever apologize to her? I never heard him apologize to her about it. Not at no time. But he can go in on Kwame Brown. Oh, yeah. You can go in on Kevin Samuels. Not Charlemagne in particular, but the Breakfast Club. Where y'all, okay, where's the Breakfast Club on him telling Carrie Champion he could suck a fart out of her butt? Where y'all at on that? Are y'all going to come out and say something against that? Of course not. Why? Because he's very friendly with the LGBT community. Nothing wrong with that. But just because you're friendly with the LGBT community doesn't mean that you can't be wrong and you can't be corrected. But that's the situation. That's the situation. But that wall is coming down. Like the Berlin Wall, that wall is coming down. See, Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown, men are not even going to be watching this kind of stuff no more. We ain't going to be watching the Breakfast Club. We ain't going to be watching that. We ain't going to be watching that stuff no more, man. We ain't going to be watching this stuff. We're not going to be watching this stuff. It's done. Your time is over, Breakfast Club. Your time is over. It's a wrap for you. It's only a matter of time. They're going to be playing reruns on your channel. That's it. It's over. It's a wrap. At least for men. You guys are going to be selling just perfume and bags. The only people you're going to be able to get up there is women. The average man ain't going to come on there to do nothing. Not no real man. It's going to be somebody in that life that's them crazy youngsters going to come up there. But a real man, ain't no real man coming on your program no more. Watch. Watch. I don't even think Dr. Umar come on there anymore. But even if he do, that's on him. But ain't no real brothers coming on there. It just ain't nothing in it for us as men watching y'all. It ain't nothing in it for me. Y'all been exposed as liars. Y'all been exposed as agitators. And y'all have been exposed as not really trying to help real brothers. You try to help brothers that's trying to continue the craziness in our community and invite brothers like that on your program. But a real brother that don't got no tattoo all over his face and don't got no, serious criminal history, y'all don't want to invite that brother on your program. It's a brother down there in, I think it's in Georgia. 21-year-old brother, man. Got a school, got all the stuff for young black men, like young black boys. He ain't been on your program. Why? Because you don't want nobody that's doing good, no black man that's doing good. Only kind of men you can have on there is men that got trap in their name or trap in their business or trap this or trap that. They got to have some type of ghetto type of personification to them so that they can come on there, so they can promote that ghetto personification. When I was a child, we can watch James Evans. Who you watching now? Who your children watching now? Wait a minute, man. Let's do this. If you ain't in the house as a man, you ain't in the house. Who are your children watching on TV? If they watching TV all day, who are they watching? Are they watching any man that's a alpha dog or that can put his foot down and say, this is how it's going to go? No, they can't. There's nobody they can watch out there. That's why we have so many simps out here. And there's so many women raising these simps. They're telling them bad information. Oh, by the way, you want to get a woman? Spend all your money on her. They're telling you, hey, man, you can't spend all your money on no woman. You never know what a woman's going to do. You can be in a marriage with a woman for 20, 30 years, man. A woman come in the house and say, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. Look at Bill Gates. It ain't about money. It ain't about money. Look at Bill Gates. Look at that situation. Look at Jeff Bezos' wife. It ain't about money. It ain't about money. Money is not, see, we as Americans are not learning how to build functional relationships. We're not learning how to. And then when you get to adult, you think you're too grown to go to a coach, life coach, or a somebody who has the experience of building relationships. You don't want to go to somebody like that so you can learn how to build relationships, how to make sacrifices, how to make compromises so that you can make a relationship work, right? You're too big to do that. I don't care. It doesn't really, does money matter? Listen, let me, because some of y'all say, man, money matters. It's money. Yeah, money does matter. I'm not saying money doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that's not the key component. The key component is the character of the person. That's the key component. See, if you are thinking that because I got all this money, this woman will never leave me, that's stupid. That's stupid. And I challenge you, hit me up. Hit me up. I've been married 31 years. Most of y'all can't even keep a girl more than a month or two. But I've been married 31 years to the same person. You think you know better than me? I could tell you how to have a relationship just like that. Question is, would you be willing to do it? Would you listen to my advice? Probably not, right? I ain't gonna listen to you, man. Shoot, you a simp, man. You in there. Okay, I'm a simp. But I made sure all my boys got through high school with no criminal records. I made sure all my boys didn't get involved with that gang bullshit. I made sure my boys didn't come home, tat it all up. Yeah, they wanted to do that after they got out of school, but that was after that, you your own man. You can do what you want after that. I don't advise it, but that's what they want to do. But that's on them. After that, I got them to where I was supposed to get them to. I was supposed to get them to graduate high school with a high school diploma, set up, ready to go to college. After that, it's on you. After that, it's on you. I'll be here to help you, but you gotta go in the direction that makes you happy. But your boys, what they being taught? Most of y'all ain't even in the house. 78% of y'all ain't even in the house with your children or the rest of your children. Huh? It can't just be all women. It can't just be the women. Just like it can't just be the men. It's got to be on both sides, us coming together and figuring out what the problem is. One of the problems is the programming that the mainstream media had out there. The mainstream media has programming out there to destroy the alpha male. On TV, destroy him. The alpha male is always destroyed, right? The alpha male is always destroyed. The most powerful male is always destroyed. But it's like I could never figure out how Captain Kirk on Star Trek was always beating stronger, smarter people. He was always beating them. And people were stronger, smarter, but he would always triumph. But he was the one. He was the one that started that semi-beta type thinking process. And I like Star Trek. But looking back at it now, I can see the beta traits in it. That's why when they came up with a new, so what did they have? They had a character actually named Beta, right? Or Data, whatever. Close enough. So what you gonna do, black man? What you gonna do? Now I'm not saying Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown is ready for you to bring your sons over to them right this second, unless they're teenagers. If you got teenage sons, I would slowly have them come into the understanding of Kevin and Kwame, slowly. But if they're not teenagers, no, you gotta bring them up slow. You gotta find somebody who's teaching at a slower pace and with less cussing and less because when they first see it, they're gonna be turned off. See, they got so much simp technology that's been installed in them that when they first see it, I know because when I first heard Tom Likas, I was turned off by him. I was like, man, this dude. And then I was listening because I was a hater. Then I grew from being a hater to just a casual listener. And then I grew from being a casual listener to agreeing with most of what was being said. And then I got to the point where I got to the best point where I became a fan and actually liked most of what was being said. I was like in agreement with most of being said. The only thing I had a problem with Tom Likas. I didn't even have a problem with it. It wasn't something that I was with, was the whole signing of the breasts and all that. That was not that I could do without that. But I knew that was Tom's thing. Tom was doing that for the younger guys so that they could see that, man, it's not about this or that or how you look. It's about it's how you carry yourself and how you put it down. If you carry yourself in a manner which demands respect, then you're gonna get respect, whether the girl be with you or don't be with you. Even if she don't be with you, at least she respect you. I'd rather a girl not be around me than say, I can't be around you because I can't respect you like I would have to respect you. And I respect you enough to not be with you, not to play with you. I got that. I dig that. I dig that. See, don't take, sometimes rejection is good, man. A woman is telling you, man, hey, I know I can't respect you like I want to, like you want me to. I know you need respect and I cannot respect you like you need me to respect you. So it's better if you go do something else. Huh? Anyway, let me get back on Kevin and Kwame Brown destroying the mainstream media. The mainstream media has always had simp. They always had simp programming set up to simplify us as men and get us away from even the thought of an alpha dog. If you look back on your TV that you watched, you never saw even let's look at current. Let's not even look back. Let's do currently. I don't watch TV. I just don't watch it because I know it's full of so much garbage, man. And I'd rather listen to dudes that think more like I think than to look at the news or look at television programming that with a bunch of guys that's trying to not piss women off and saying a bunch of stuff like Steve Harvey and Dr. Phil, and they have this little zone that they can only swim in that little zone. I'd rather watch stuff on YouTube or other platforms where you got real men talking about real men's issues. We got, like here on this platform, you go to the manosphere, especially the black manosphere, you got lawyers talking about different situations, how to get out of different situations and how to protect yourself. You got brothers that's been in relationships like myself that's talking about how to get in and out of relationships. You got people even on the poly side of relationships talking about relationships. You got just you got brothers like O'Shea, Duke Jackson talking about building networks. I mean, you got all kind of different people on this thing. So for me, it makes sense. That's why men are no longer watching mainstream media. Goodbye, Breakfast Club. Goodbye. You're about 2 or 3 years away from going into the ground. Goodbye, network television. You're about 10 years away from going into the ground. Cable television, you're about 10 or 15 years away from going into the ground. Goodbye. Rest in peace, all of you, because you guys only have programming for women and none for men. Men get no benefit out of none of that. That's why Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown are destroying you. Just 2 black dudes are destroying you because they are telling black men and telling men the things that they want to hear and need to hear to be successful. They're actually getting some value out of it as opposed to watching network television programming. Well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to see on network television in the next 10, 15 years. All it's going to be is old ladies buying stuff off the shopping network. It's not going to be nothing like it in reruns. That's all it is. All it is. Reruns and old ladies buying stuff off of networks, the home shopping network. And it's going to be but it's going to be girl friendly. It's going to be all girl friendly. You're going to have shows like Kelly Clarkson, stuff like that. That's all. They're going to bring back Tyra Banks. It's all it's going to be is shows like that, because men are just done. We are finished with watching network television. Same thing with cable television. Unless you can bring back a show like The Wire, where you got a bunch of different alpha dogs in there. You got a bunch of different alpha males in there. Men are done. Cable television, you're dead too. You're dead too. But especially the Breakfast Club, show like the Breakfast Club, adios. You are done. Men are not having none of that no more. We are not going to be watching you. The only kind of men that's going to be watching the Breakfast Club is going to be youngsters, man. People that already got tattoos on the face, tattoos on their eye and their neck and all that. Those are the only kind of crazy ass niggas going to be watching that show so that they can learn how to be more of a crazy ass nigga from another crazy ass nigga you interviewing. Because those are the type of dudes y'all bring in there. Y'all ain't going to be able to bring nobody that actually make no sense up in there because they ain't going to come. They're going to start coming to our platforms. You'll see. You'll see. You're going to have to do like Kevin Samuels, Kwame Brown, interviewing real men and getting the real out of them and talking for real. And without that network box that you guys got to talk about stuff in, that box. I showed you. Let me show you again. Because maybe we ain't got, I showed you, but let me show you again what it is. It is what it is. Let me show you again. Now, you tell me why the Breakfast Club ain't talking about this here.
I still thought he was crazy.
You show me.
I don't want to talk to him. And people
you show
like, hey,
me.
Charlamagne want to know, do you know? Can you die? I'm like, no, I'm good.
You show me.
Anybody who is that reckless on social media, you cannot be their friend because that can come back and haunt you.
Show me why the Breakfast Club didn't do nothing about this.
In a good way and in a bad way.
This man said he wanted to suck a fart out of this girl's butt.
2012. And when I say that we formed a friendship, and I say that about a lot of people, but we formed a friendship based on the fact that we both were hungry.
Come on.
Told that we can't do it. And we want to get it.
Yep.
He's moving a lot faster than me, but that's okay. I'll let him have it. Welcome to Be Honest, Charlamagne. No.
Disgusting individual.
No, you are no longer different adjectives.
Yes.
I think you are a lovable butthole sometimes.
Nah.
Actually, what my consultant calls me.
Yeah.
My consultant for iHeartMedia, Dennis Clark, that's exactly what he says. He don't
That's
say
true.
butthole, though. He says a-hole.
You can curse on this. We'll just
Okay,
keep
he
it
says
out.
asshole.
He does?
Yes,
Okay.
He says I'm a lovable asshole.
I'm on a profanity diet. I'm trying not to curse. I don't know how long that's going to last.
And I actually used to tweet about you when you used to be on First Take Night. Like,
Okay, this man talking about
is so fine. Like, I want to suck a fart out her butt. But that's a compliment. It's like saying you want to drink somebody's bathwater.
I see.
You know?
I see.
Now y'all heard him. He said he want to suck a fart out of her butt. We heard nothing from the Breakfast Club. We didn't hear the Breakfast Club. DJ Envy. Hello, DJ Envy. Do you think that's lame that he told this girl, a grown woman, He told this grown woman that he want to suck a fart out of her butt on a live broadcast. That ain't lame though, huh? A man standing out in front of a store passing out his card, that's lame. This man telling a grown woman, a married grown woman, he want to suck a fart out of her butt. That's not lame though. Help me understand this. The Breakfast Club is over. Good night. I wish I had that taps that Kevin Samuels has. Good night. It's over for you. It's over. You guys have been exposed. Kevin exposed you. Then Kwame Brown exposed you. It's over. Good night. It's just man, you guys got about another year or so, and that's it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Ain't no man coming on there. Only people coming on there is dudes with face tattoos and who don't have the understanding of what they're actually doing. Ain't no other man coming on that program no more. No man that stands for something of significant value is coming on there unless y'all start throwing some major money their way. And y'all ain't going to do that. So it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Same thing for you, network television. You're a wrap. Right? Might as well fire up the Kelly Clarkson, fire up the Tyra Banks, fire up the Ricky Lakes, fire them up. Fire up all those old, Jenny Jones, all those old lady shows. You're going to have to fire that stuff up because that's all you're going to have. Men are not going to be watching you no more. No more. And same thing, cable. You are so close. You right there. Men are just almost done with you. You better start putting some alpha dogs on some shows and showing some alpha men on there, alpha males on there. And the closest thing you had to that was The Wire. That's it. You better throw something together like that real quick, or it's over for you. It's over for you. As far as men is concerned, it's over. Anyway, I just wanted to show a little bit about how Kevin Samuels, I want to show how Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown just dropping, see, let me tell you something. When you write, you write. You ain't got to negotiate with nobody when you write. You ain't got to be in fear of no one when you write. When you write, you write. Nobody can handle you when you write. Nobody can handle you when you write. You are off the hook. The enemies of truth, only thing they can do is try to negotiate with you. Or they try to scare you. First, they try to scare you. Hey, here's a cease and desist order. If that don't work, they're coming with a bag, Kwame. They're coming with a bag. They know they wrong. They can't move. Their feet is in quicksand. They're what they call in the Quran a fixed position. They cannot move. They are done. Only thing they can do is beg for your forgiveness, which is what they should do. Now, I'm going to tell you what you should do, Breakfast Club. You should beg for his forgiveness, and you should beg for your audience's forgiveness for all the drama that you guys been putting out there, and start putting guests out there. Yes, we don't mind you having the little brothers and sisters that are not in their right mind on there, but we want a balance of that by having good people on there. But you saying, oh man, but nobody will watch that. We can't have that because people ain't going to watch it. Then goddamn it, they won't watch it. But at least you do what you're supposed to do. Look at me. Shit, ain't nobody watching my broadcast, but I ain't going to stop me from giving out the good information that I'm giving. Can't nobody whoop me. You can't dispute what I'm saying. Go find, you ain't going to, really? I'm backed by God, saved by God, lifted up by God. I shouldn't even be alive. I know. I'm not going to be like Lazarus and I forget, act like I don't see, I ain't, no. I know who saved me. I know who did. And I'm always be thankful and always show my gratitude. If I got to talk to nobody, brother, if I got to talk to nobody, I'll stand and sit in the corner by myself. That's okay. I'll preach until they come. This show is to help inspire you so you can see. Now, if Kevin Samuels can do it, what's wrong with you? If Kwame Brown can do it, what's wrong with you? Because you scared, see? Y'all scared. Y'all scared. Look at Kevin Samuels. They going through, they doxing the man. They talking about how he missed child support payments. They talking about his ex-wives. They talking about these people so sad, they're going to get his high school pictures. What the fuck does his high school pictures got to do with the truth that he's telling? What does that got to do with anything? If the man is telling the truth, who cares whether he's standing on a soapbox or he's standing on top of the entire state building? Who cares? It's the truth that matters, right? Right? Just like Prophet Muhammad, the people said, hey, this dude, peace be upon, this dude, hey, this your prophet? How come he hungry? How can he be a prophet of God and he hungry? How come apple trees ain't falling out the sky to this dude? Wherever he stopped his horse, how come apple trees don't fall out the sky and go right in the ground? It's a poor understanding. What difference does that make? Because he's telling the truth. He's telling you the truth. What difference does it make whether apple trees fall out the sky or not? That's not the issue. But I'm trying to tell you guys, women will always move to football. The enemies of truth always move to football. When they know they can't disturb the truth, they can't go blow for blow with you on the truth, they will move to football. So you can never get a good run at it to kick it over the goalpost because they keep moving it. Kwame Brown. 20 years the man had to listen to, he's a bust, he's a this, he's a that. Now, I got to admit, putting $50 million in your pocket made it easier. I got to admit, but still, who wants to hear that? Who wants to hear that over their whole career? He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. And Kwame knew the truth, but didn't tell it. Why? Because he was trying to protect his family. He was trying to get the bag for his family. So he could put his mama in a place where his mama could live out the rest of her years in a nice place. What's wrong with that? How's Kwame the bad guy? But he ain't the bad guy. He's the good guy. Y'all the bad guy, Breakfast Club. Y'all the bad guy, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. But one thing I know about Hoopers, y'all will eventually meet up down the road and make up. That I do know. But the Breakfast Club, it's over, man. It's a wrap. It's over. All you got is these little dudes that's going to listen to you that's crazy as hell. That's it. It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's just like out here in LA. We had a station back in the 80s when rap first got out here. It wasn't even on the radio yet. We had a station, we had an little AM station called 1680 KDAY. 1680 KDAY. And that was the only station on the whole radio that played rap music. And man, in their heyday was probably about 87, 88, they was just, I mean, because all the rap was coming out, man, it would hit and you could hear it all on K-Day. Black children wasn't listening to no other station but K-Day. Black people wasn't listening to nothing else. Maybe KGLH, maybe Stevie Wonder's station, but that's it. Those two stations was it. Man, K-Day was making so much money just dealing with black people. Other stations got into it. Power came in. The Beat came in. All these other stations came in starting to play rap music. Power wasn't playing no rap music. Power had, what's his name? What's that dude's name? They had the white dude on there. Kiss had Rick Dees. It's 79 degrees. There was no beat. There was no beat. And K-Day was mopping up money. Everybody was trying to get down there to get their record played or getting records or trying to, they was making so much money. But what happened to them? Competition came. Next thing you know, Power got rid of that dude, Jay, and they got Big Boy over there. They started playing rap music. The Beat got Theo. Slowly, they started eating away at K-Day. Because K-Day was just a little station. It was just a little station. Viacom owned The Beat. Viacom owned Power. Viacom owned Kiss. Viacom owned all those. So Viacom had the money to put behind all of that. They would advertise on AM radio to get people to watch the FM, to listen to the FM station. See, y'all don't know the business behind it. See, you just listening to the music, but you don't know the business behind this. This is a business behind this thing. And that's what Kevin Samuels and Kwame Brown is showing, man. The business is, they are destroying the business model. Mainstream media for men, adios. You are finito. Dunziak. It's not happening. It looks like they're trying to shut me down again. Hopefully they won't. I didn't say nothing this time, YouTube. I didn't say nothing this time. I've been keeping it real cool. Anyway, my final thoughts. Let me get my final thoughts. My final thoughts are, if you are invested in networks, Viacom, network television, cable television, I would slowly start getting my money out of those things as it pertains to making money, unless you start investing in female products that serve females. Whatever products that you see advertised on there that are getting a good return, you should invest in those products. Men are not going to be watching network television anymore. They're not doing it now, but they're just going to be done with it. And then only dudes who watch network television is dudes that ain't got no money because they can't afford nothing else. and eventually, I mean, it's cheaper to get a Roku other than having cable so you can watch network television. Network television is dead, and I would divest out of that and invest in something for men. You really want to make money, invest in something that has to do with men, because men are going to start watching more men on different platforms, YouTube, other different platforms, and other platforms are going to come out like YouTube that you can watch men on. Other platforms. Radio, gone. For men, it's gone. You're gonna have is people listening to the news, from Iraq and from Israel and all. That's what you're gonna have on the radio. That's where that's going. It's gonna be two things, that and probably jazz, and that's it. It's not gonna be a whole bunch of different types of music and all that, because men are not listening to it. Men are just simply not listening to it anymore. Only youngins are listening to the radio. But what do I know? What do I know? Anyway, Kevin Samuels, thank you for doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Kwame Brown, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep your foot on the neck. If they are not willing to submit, if they're not going to apologize to you, which they all should do, if they're not willing to apologize to you, man, I say keep telling the truth until you make them apologize to you. Because a woman would take them to court, and a woman would have them in court and have their lawyer. Man, you think, man, if you said something about one of Gloria Allred's clients, man, Gloria Allred would have they would be tearing you apart. So I say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Tear their ass apart. And then Gloria Allred wouldn't even want no apology. She would say, we want a settlement. That's up to you, man. I know you got money in the bank, but it's up to you. Anyway, you guys are showing that we as men, we don't need to watch. We don't need to go to the mainstream media anymore. We don't need to do that anymore. We got so many guys over here telling the real story over here. We don't need to go to the mainstream media anymore. That's just a joke. It's a joke. It's the mainstream media is dying. You're dying. You're gonna be dead. That's why you're moving all your ad campaigns to YouTube and other platforms like that, and you're going to social media influencers, because you see the handwriting on the wall. Men are not watching that crap anymore. Anyway, what do y'all think? Am I crazy? Is Kevin Samuels crazy? Is Kwame Brown crazy? Like they try to say he is. Are we crazy? Is the mainstream media, are men actually, are the numbers of men that are watching mainstream media increasing or decreasing? You tell me. You tell me. But anyway, Kevin and Kwame showed us that it doesn't matter. You don't have to have no big main, you ain't got to have no big, what you call that, deals. You ain't got to have no product deals. Just go out here and talk, man. Tell the truth. And men will come. Men will come. When they hear the truth, when they hear that the trumpet of truth, they coming. They coming because they know that sound. They know what that sound sounds like. They inherently know what the sound of truth sounds like. When they hear it, they pop up and they go running towards that call. Real men. The simps gonna run away from it. They're gonna run and tell the beast. They gathering an army around. They gathering an army together. Okay, so when they go on live stream, shut them down. We got a list. When they go on our live stream, shut them down. Just like you did me today. I ain't got nobody listening to me today. Anyway, love to hear what you think. And I'd love for anyone who listens at this and you want to live stream with me, you want to talk about anything that I'm talking about today, I would love to have you. Until the next time, peace.